So, good afternoon, everyone. We'll start from the place where we left yesterday. That is page 210. And the last thing we did was Prospero's speech, right? So, we will start from there only. Re-enter Ariel, driving in Caliban, Stefano, and Trinquillo in their stolen apparel. So you know that Prospero, Trinquillo, and Caliban, Trinquillo, and Stefano, they stole the clothes from the lime tree. All of you know about it. So, and Ariel was given the job of bringing all three of them there, right? So Ariel goes and brings all three, that is Stefano, Trinquillo, and Caliban in front of Prospero. Stefano, every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. So Stefano says, now see, all three of them are in an inebriated state. They are heavily intoxicated, right? So none of them is going to make any sense, right? Whenever they'll utter anything, they will talk nonsense only, right? So Stefano says that every man shift. Shift means take care. So every one man is supposed to look after the rest of them. Every man is supposed to take care of one another, and let no man take care for himself. And no man is going to take care of himself. So every man present here will take care of one another, and they will not take care of themselves. For all is but fortune. Why? Because everything depends upon fortune. See, this will not make any sense, right? But people, they talk absurd things when they are not in their proper senses, right? When they are intoxicated. So that is what he is also uttering, or whatever is coming to his head. Coraggio, every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Why? Because everything depends upon fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio. So coraggio means have courage, right? We should be brave. We should have courage, right? So he is asking Caliban to be brave, to have courage, and to show some bravery, right? Bully monster here means, monster who pretends to be brave, right? Who is not actually brave, but who all this while has been showing Stefano that he is a brave monster. So that is what he says. He tells Caliban, have courage, right? Have courage, monster, you bully monster, have courage. Trinquillo, if these be true spies, which I wear in my head, here's a good side. So now Trinquillo says that if this be true spies here means eyes, right? If my eyes, these are real, which I wear in my head, the eyes which are fixed to my head, right? Your eyes are fixed to your head now. So the eyes which are fixed into my head, if they are real eyes, which I wear in my head, which are fixed to my head, here's a goodly side. Then this side, whatever I can see with the help of my eyes, that is really very splendid. Goodly means that is very, I'm able to see something which is grand, something which is very splendid, something which is really very good. And what does Caliban say? Oh, Setibos, these be brave spirits, indeed. Aye, how fine my master is. I'm afraid he will chastise me. So now Caliban realizes that he has been caught, and all his plans and projects, they have failed, right? They were unsuccessful in their attempt to kill Prospero, right? They didn't succeed in their attempts, right? So their conspiracy, it was foiled, right? So they know, Caliban now understands this. So that is why he is remembering his god, devil god, Setibos. You remember this word, this name we came across in Act 1 also, right? Sycorax used to worship Setibos, right? The devil god, right? So that is what he says, Caliban, oh Setibos, these be brave spirits. So these are, now he just switches over. Caliban, and he starts praising them that these are really very wonderful and beautiful spirits. These spirits are so nice, and how great is my master. My master is really very good, because he knows he is standing in front of Prospero, and now he'll be badly punished. And so that is why he starts praising Prospero. He says, my master is such a nice person. He's really very splendid and a very good person. He's such a kind and a very nice person. I'm afraid. So then he says that now I'm scared that he'll chastise me. He will chastise me means he will punish me, because now Prospero came to know about Caliban's plans, and Caliban knows this fact that Prospero has understood everything, and everything has come to his knowledge. Now he will definitely punish him really very, very badly. Sebastian. Haha. So now Sebastian. See, all these people have seen something like Caliban for the first time in their lives, right? The half fish and half human. That strange kind of a creature. This Sebastian, Antonio, King Alonso, Gonzalo. So all these people are seeing this creature for the first time. Caliban for the first time. So they are finding him to be very strange, right? And abnormal. So that is what Sebastian and the way they are behaving in their intoxicated state, right? They are, as it is, Caliban is looking really very strange, right? He was a very ugly and a strange creature, and then the way he is behaving. So that Sebastian finds it humorous, and he says, haha, what things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy them? So he says, he looks at Caliban and he is talking, he's pointing to Caliban, and he says, what is this a strange creature, my lord Antonio? See, look at him. He's such a strange creature. He appears to be really very amazing and strange and weird. Will money buy them? So can this creature be purchased with money? I want to buy this creature, right? Antonio, very like one of them, is a plain fish and no doubt marketable. So Antonio says, yes, it must be definitely possible to buy this creature. It's not a big deal. You can buy this creature. One of them is a plain fish. And out of these three, one of them looks like a strange fish. See, all three of them are dressed also in strange clothes, in those gaudy apparels, right? So they must be looking very funny and strange, all three of them. And Caliban too has a different form also, right? He doesn't resemble normal human beings. So he will be looking the strangest of three. So that is what Antonio says. One of them, and one among these three is plain fish. He resembles like a fish and no doubt marketable. And I am very sure that he must be saleable also. We can buy him. Prospero, mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. So now Prospero says, just have a look at the badges. Badges here means the dresses, the robes, the garments which these people are wearing. Just have a look at the garments which these men they are wearing, my lords, I request. So he is addressing everyone, especially Alonso. He says, my lords, please look at them and then say if they be true. Then tell me whether they appear to be honest or they appear to be rogues, scoundrels and thieves, because of the way they have dressed themselves. So it means their appearance, from their appearance, it is very obvious that the dresses which they are wearing are not their own. They must have been stolen from somewhere, right? So that is what Prospero is doing, right? He is exposing these three people in front of everyone. He says, just look at them, my lords, and then tell me whether they appear to be honest or they appear to be thieves. Then say if they be true. Then tell me whether they are honest or not. This misshapen name. His mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon. So he says that this misshapen means ugly, abnormal creature, right? This creature who appears to be abnormal, knave means scoundrel, rogue. His mother was a witch. His mother, who was Caliban's mother, Sycorax, right? So his mother was a witch, and one so strong, and not any witch. She was a very, very powerful witch that could control the moon, that had the power. She was so powerful that she had powers to control the moon, make flows and ebb. See, tides depend upon the moon, right? So that is what Prospero is saying, that she was so powerful that she had full control over the moon, and so she can control the movement of the water in the seas. That is she could also control the tides, right? With the flow and the ebb. Ebb means receding, moving back, right? Flowing means moving forward. So she had the power to control the tides and deal in her command. Without her power, these three have robbed me. So she had such strong powers that she could hold and use the moon's authority without actually having the moon's power. Means, see, what is the moon's authority? Moon has the power to cause tides in the sea, in the water body, in the seas and the oceans, right? So this is the power of the moon. So Sycorax was such a powerful witch that though she didn't have control over the moon, but she had control over the power of the moon. That means she had control over these tides. Tides is the power of the moon, right? Causing tides is the power of a moon. So though she didn't have authority over the moon's power, but she had complete authority. Though she didn't have any authority over the moon, but she had complete authority over the powers of the moon. Is it clear? These three have robbed me. So Prospero says, these three people, they have stolen my garments. They have robbed me. And this demi-devil means half devil and half human. This demi-devil which you see, for he is a bastard. Bastard means an illegitimate child. So he is an illegitimate child, and he plotted with them to take my life. And you, as you see, this demi-devil, this half human, half devil which you see in front of your eyes, he who is the illegitimate child of Sycorax, he conspired along with these other two people, that is Trinculo and STEPHANO. He conspired with these two people to take my life. He was a part of that conspiracy to kill me. Two of these fellows you must know and own. Now, because these two fellows, that is STEPHANO and Trinculo, they belong to your company, right? They are your men. So you must be knowing them and you must own their action, because King Alonso is the king, right? So a king is responsible for the actions of the subjects, right? So that is why he says that two of these men, that is STEPHANO and Trinculo, you must own, and you must be knowing these two. And the third one, that is Caliban. This thing of darkness means this evil creature, this devil creature who is standing in front of me. I acknowledge mine, and I admit that this wicked monster, this devil, this demi-devil who is standing in front of me is my slave. So I take the responsibility of the deeds of this devil, and you people, and you, that is King Alonso, you should take the responsibility of these two men. You, because you own these two men, they are your servant, they are part of your company. So you own them, and I own this third one, that is the ugly creature, that is Caliban, right? For his evil deed, this evil creature I own. Caliban, I shall be pinched to death. Now Caliban realizes that Prospero knows everything, right? So Caliban says that I shall be pinched to death. Now I'll be punished so badly. Now this Prospero will pinch me to death. I will be given so many pinches by this Prospero that I'll die. Alonso, it's not this STEPHANO, my drunken butler. So Alonso says, oh, isn't he STEPHANO? So because he's dressed in a very strange manner. So Alonso is like kind of doubtful. He says, isn't it STEPHANO, our butler, right? Who is standing in front of us in this drunken state? Sebastian, he is drunk now. Where had he wine? So you remember earlier they were in search of wine on the island, right? That we'll not get any wine, any entertainment on this island. When Sebastian and Antonio were discussing, right? So now Sebastian is really worried. He says, he is drunk now. I can see that he is in a drunken state, and I really wonder from where did he get this wine, right? From where did he get this alcohol to drink? Alonso, and Trinculo is reeling right. And Alonso says, and see, look at Trinculo, he is reeling right. Means he's so drunk that he is reeling. Reeling means he's so drunk that he is staggering. He's not even able to walk properly, walk and stand properly, right? He has started staggering. That means he is heavily drunk. Where should they find this grand liquor that had gilded them? So I don't know from where did they get this grand liquor, this awesome liquor from this, where did they get this strong liquor that they that had gilded them. Gilded them means that had made their face red, that had reddened their face. So they are not interested in what they have done and what they are doing. They are only interested in knowing from where did they get this wine, right, on this island. How camest thou in this pickle? So Alonso says, just tell me that how did you land yourself in such a messy state? Look at you people, because you know that they were like thrown in the swamp and they with mud and stink all over their bodies, right? So now Alonso says, just tell me from where did you get, how did you land yourself in such a terrible, such a dirty, such a messy state? It's such a disgraceful state in which you people are standing in front of me. Trinculo, I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last. I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing. So Trinculo says, no, see, again, he will not make any sense. He says, I have been in such a pickle. Pickle means messy state. So I was in such a terrible, such a messy, such a disgraceful state from the time I saw you last. That means he is talking about the time when he landed himself in the sea, when he was in the sea, in the saline water of the sea. So he says, I landed myself. I was in such a messy state from the time I saw you last. I fear me will never out of my bone. And I'm really scared that this state will not leave my bones. He's talking about the salty water of the sea. Means he had been in that water for such a long time that now it has been absorbed by his bones, and it will not leave his bones. So he will not be able to get that salt out of his bones now. So why? Because he was drenched. So I shall not fear fly blowing. So being drenched because I have been drenched in salt water, so at least I'll be saved from the flies coming near me, flies laying eggs on me, because you know flies, they never approach salt, right, or salty water. They don't sit on them. So that is what he says, that I'm so drenched, I have absorbed so much of that saline water inside my body that now flies won't touch me, flies won't come near me. Sebastian, oh, how now, Stefano? So now Sebastian says, and Stefano, what do you have to say? What is the matter with you? Trinculo has explained his situation. Now you tell. How about you? So Stefano, oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cram. So Sebastian was about to touch Stefano. So he says, no, don't come near me. I am not Stefano. I'm not Stefano. I don't know Stefano. I'm not Stefano. I'm just a cram. Means I'm just a bundle of pain. I'm just a bundle of cramps. You remember Prospero instructed all the spirits who transform themselves in the form of dogs to chase them and give them cramps, pinches, till their bodies are spotted like wildcat and leopards. You know, so that is what he is. Now this is the result, right? So, oh, touch me not. So please don't come and touch me, because his body must be really very painful, because all over his body he had been given pains, right? So all in his entire body must be paining. And so that is what he says. Oh, touch me not. Please don't come near me. I'm not Stefano. I'm not Stefano. I deny being Stefano. I am just a bundle of cramp. I'm just a mass of cramps. My body is just full of cramps. Prospero, you'd be the king of the isle, Sirrah. Oh, you wanted to be the king of the island, na? Sirrah is an address to the servant, right? Fellow, normally someone who is inferior to you, right? So you say, so that is what Prospero said. But you wanted to be the king of the island, right? This was your plan, na? Fellow, Stefano, I should have been a sore one then. So he says, now if I would be the king of the island, I'll definitely be a sore one. Sore one means full of cramps and full of pain, right? When you say you have a sore throat, it means that your sore throat has a lot of pain in it, right? So sore means painful. So if I become the king of the island now, so I'll be a sore one. Now see, sore means two things, right? I'll be a king. here sore means that my one is the literal meaning that my body will be full of cramp because I have a very painful body at this moment. So if I become the king, my body will be like I'll be a king who is full of lot of pains. And the second meaning can be that I'll be the king who will be like sore to the subjects. That means I'll be cruel to my subjects, right? If I become the king, so I'll not be a king. So now he doesn't have any intention of becoming a king now, right? He just wants to live a peaceful life now. He just wants to sit in one corner and relax, right? Because his entire body is paining. So sore means two things, right? Being cruel to the subjects. If I become the king, I will be cruel to the subjects, right? I'll be a sore king, right? Who will be very painful, who will give a lot of pain to his subjects. A cruel king only can give pain to the subject. And the other meaning is that I'll be a king whose body is covered with pain, full of pain. One then Alonso says, this is a strange thing as ever I looked on. So Alonso says, then Alonso also looks at Caliban and he says that this is one of the strangest thing that I have seen in my life. There's a strange creature. I have not seen a similar creature in my life till date. Prospero, he's as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, Sirrah, to myself. So Prospero says that he is he is not only ugly as far as his looks are concerned. He doesn't only look abnormal. He doesn't only look ugly and abnormal, right? He is also as ugly in his manners, right? Means his looks and his manners, his behavior, his attitude, everything is abnormal, everything is bad, everything is ugly. Everything about this creature is ugly, right? It's not only the looks which are not good. Go, Sirrah, to my cell. And then he instructs Caliban to go to his cell. Prospero instructs Caliban to go to his cell. Take with you your companion. And you're not supposed to go there alone. You're supposed to take Caliban along with, you're supposed to take Trinculo and Stephano along with you. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely. So, and if you really want that I should forgive you, if you want my forgiveness, and if you really want that you should not be punished, then you're supposed to beautify my cell. Go and tidy my cell, make my cell neat and tidy, right? Then only I will think about forgiving you people, because you people have committed some very serious crime and serious offense has been committed by you people. And if you really want forgiveness, if you don't want to be punished, then go and beautify my cell, make my cave neat and tidy. Then Caliban says, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. So now Caliban has decided to mend his ways. Now he has understood that he cannot fight Prospero. It's like beyond his capabilities to kill Prospero. And so he says, oh, sure, I'll do that. I'll definitely do that, right? And I'll be wise hereafter. And from now on, I've decided that I will behave in a wise manner, right? I'll become wiser and seek for grace. And I will obey all your instructions so that I'm able to get your favor, right? So that you don't punish me, so that you have mercy upon me. So I'm ready to obey all your instructions and orders so that I can have your mercy upon me. What a thrice double ass I was to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool. So now he realizes, he says that I was 3 times a donkey, right? I was an ass, I was a donkey, and not only one donkey, I was equivalent to 3. Thrice I was a donkey. That I believed this person, this drunkard, who is a drunkard, to be God, and worship this dull fool. Dull fool means brainless idiot. That I started worshipping this brainless idiot, right? That means Stephano. He's talking about Stephano. You remember the way Caliban used to talk to Stephano, that you are my king and you are my god and I'll be your slave. So now Caliban decides to mend his ways. Prospero, go to away. So now Prospero says, okay, fine. Now you have realized, so then go and you do immediately what you have been asked to do. Go and immediately obey my instructions. Alonso, to Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo. Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it. And then he says, Before going, he just calls him back and and Alonso says, and wait, one more thing, all three of you, when you go, put back the garments which you have stolen, which you have taken, right? He doesn't use the word stolen, right? He says, and put back the garments from where you took them, right? You are supposed to put back these garments also. Sebastian, or stole it rather. So Sebastian says, it is better to say that they have stolen these garments. They have not taken, they have actually stolen these garments. So it would be rather better if you call it stolen. It's in Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. So then they leave. They agree and then they leave. Prospero to Alonso. Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night. So Prospero then addresses Alonso and he says, sir, I invite your highness, I invite your honor, I invite you, my lord, to and your train means and your companions and your attendants and everyone who is with you to my poor cell. Poor cell means to my humble cell, which definitely is not like your palace. It is a very small and a poor thing in comparison to your palace, but still I would like to invite you and your company to my cell, where you shall take your rest for this night, where you can rest for this night, where all of you can rest for this one night. Which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I not doubt shall make it go quick away. And don't worry, I'll waste some portion of this night with such discourse. Discourse means a story and talk. So I will narrate such stories and I will talk about such interesting things that some portion of this night will be spent. Waste here means that I will spend. I will not let you sleep for some portion of the night, for some part of the night, because I am definitely going to narrate some stories. And as I not doubt shall make it go quick away. And I am very sure that once I'll start telling you stories, once I'll start telling you some interesting tales, you won't even realize how quickly this night is spent, right? Go quick away means that will help you to spend, that will help the night to go away very quickly. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to the side. So he says, what all Prospero decides to tell Alonso. He says that I will tell you that the story of my life and all the events and the accidents which happened to me on this island. I will tell you about the events and about the incidents which took place, some interesting incidents which happened with me upon this island. I'll tell you those tales and stories, right? So obviously that will be something very interesting for King Alonso, right? And so that is why he is very sure that that he's going to narrate such interesting stories that the night will pass away quickly. And in the morn, I'll bring you to your ship. And then when the night is over, when it's dawn, then I will take you to your ship and so to Naples. And from there, we'll go to Naples. All of us will go to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnite. And then what will happen? I want to see the marriage. Nuptial means the marriage of these dear beloved, our beloved children, our dear children. Then we will just go there, go to Naples. All of us will go to Naples, and there we will celebrate the marriage of these beloved children of ours. And thence retire me to Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave. And then after that, what will happen? After that, I will go back to Milan. I'll go to my dukedom, that is Milan, where every third thought means every frequent thought, means where after I go back to Milan, what will I do? I will spend most of my time thinking about my death. Means I will spend most of my time thinking about shall be my grave. Grave means death. Grave is a reference to death here. So I'll spend, after I go back to Milan, after the marriage of my daughter, after my daughter is settled in Naples, married to your son Ferdinand, then I will go back to Milan. And what will I do there? I'll spend most of my time preparing for my death. And how do you prepare for your death? When you pray, you meditate, right? When you ask God for the forgiveness of your sins which you have committed throughout your life. So this is Prospero's plan, that I will go back to Milan and there I'll spend most of my time in meditation, in my prayers, which is a kind of a preparation for death. It doesn't mean that he will start devising ways to kill himself. Preparing for death means that he will start meditating, right, and praying, right, so that he is a pious soul till the time his death comes, right, when he dies. So, Alonso, I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ear strangely. So Alonso says that I desire, I have a very strong longing, I have a very strong yearning to hear the story of your life. I just want to know desperately what happened to you all these in all these years, which must take the ear strangely. And I'm very sure that your stories will be very captivating to the ears, will be extraordinarily interesting to our ears. Prospero, I'll deliver all. So Prospero says, don't worry, I'll tell you everything, right? I will tell you every detail, every story, every important incident which is related to my life on this island, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off. And besides telling you all the interesting incidents which happened to me on this island, I also promise you one more thing, and that is I promise you calm seas. That now when we will set out for our journey, when we will start our journey on the sea, then you will not come across any tempest, any tornado. The seas will be very calm. The seas will be very peaceful and auspicious gales, and the winds which will blow, they will be favorable winds, right? The winds will also not go against us, and sail so expeditious, and our ship will move so fast, we'll move so expeditious means quickly, swiftly. So our ship will move so quickly and so swiftly that shall catch your royal fleet far off. That very quickly we'll be able to catch our royal fleet. You remember, it was only the king's ship which was wrecked. The other ships which were along with the king's ship, they continued their journey, right? It was only one ship in which king and his Antonio and Sebastian and all these people were there. It was only a single ship which was wrecked, and all the other ships, they went to Naples safely, right? They continued their journey to Naples. So that is what Prospero says, that everything will be so fine, and the weather, the winds and the seas, everything will be calm, peaceful, and will be favorable to our journey. And our ship will move so fast that very soon we will be able to catch up with the rest of the ships of your fleet, right? The rest of the ships which are now far ahead, because they have already spent 3 hours. They wasted 3 hours, right? And then they will spend the night. So obviously the other ships will move far ahead. So Prospero says we'll make it so fast that very soon we'll be able to, we'll be with the rest of your ships, right? With your entire fleet of ships. Then he moves to one side and he talks to Ariel and he says, my Ariel, this is thy charge. So he says, he has, because Prospero has promised all these things to Alonso, he says, now he just moves to one side and he says, now Ariel, this is your job to see that what all things, that the things which I have promised to Alonso, they are done properly, right? So it is your job to make arrangements for our safe and happy journey. Then to the elements be free and fare thou well. Please you draw nearer. So he says, and then after that, after you have done this job properly, that is, you have arranged our journey, arranged our peaceful journey. After that, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to, you are a free, after this, you will become a free spirit, right? And fare thou well. And I will bid adieu to you. I will say goodbye to you after you have done all these things. Please you draw nearer. And then he addresses the rest of them and he says, now you people, please come near, come nearby cell. Let's go inside our cell. Okay. So now, so this is clear. This ends the play. Now there is an epilogue by Prospero, right? So this epilogue is addressed by Prospero to the audience who were sitting there and who were watching the play on stage. So now this epilogue is spoken by Prospero and he is addressing the audience. Actually, some people, they speculate that this epilogue is actually Shakespeare talking about himself, right? See, Tempest is believed to be the last play of Shakespeare, right? Which is actually not true. After this, he completed 3 more plays, right? Some parts of 3 more plays were also composed by Shakespeare. Though he didn't write any complete play after this, but some portions of 3 more plays was also 3 more plays was also composed by Shakespeare after this, right? So, but it is believed that Shakespeare is actually talking about himself, and Prospero surrendering his magical tools and books and everything, giving up his magic and asking permission from the audience to go, is like Shakespeare asking permission from the audience that now I want you people to free me from this job of writing plays. He's just asking farewell, asking for farewell from the audience. He wants to give up his job now. He wants to retire. So that is, it is actually related to that, Shakespeare's address to his audience and the people who were there to watch his play, that now he will not be writing, he wants retirement, right? So this epilogue is actually related to that. What is an epilogue? Epilogue is a speech or a section which is normally written at the end, or which normally written at the end of the book or at the end of the play, and it serves as a you can say as a comment or a conclusion of what all has happened, right? It serves as a conclusion of what all has happened throughout the play. So now let's do the epilogue also. This epilogue is spoken by Prospero and it is addressed to the audience, right? Now my charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have, mine own, which is most faint. So now he says, now my charms, that is my magic, has magical powers have all dissolved or have all gone away from me. Now I don't possess any magical powers, and whatever strength I have, right? Now I am devoid of all magical powers, and I have only that much strength left which any normal human being possesses, right? Earlier when I had all these magical powers with me, then I was very powerful, but now all that has gone, and what is left with me is only my normal normal strength, right, which is possessed by any human being, and that is very feeble, that is very weak in comparison to the strength which I possessed earlier, which is most faint. Which is most faint means that is very feeble, very weak. Now it is true, I must be here confined by you. So now it is true that now that I must be here confined by you or sent to Naples. Now I want to, now it is up to you that whether you keep me here, you keep me confined in this island, or you give me permission to go to Naples, right? So now he's talking to audience that I need your permission to allow me to go to Naples. See, when Prospero was addressing, or Prospero was talking to the audience at this point of time, then the rest of them, the rest of the characters, they left the stage. It is only Prospero and he is talking to the audience. And so he says to the audience that now it is up to you whether you want to keep me confined to this island or you want me to go to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom gone. So now he says to the audience that now please don't confine me here, right? Please don't keep me here, keep me waiting here. Please don't keep me confined here on this island. Why? Because now I have got my dukedom back. So I want to go back to my place, to the place where I belong, that is to Milan. And pardoned the deceivers dwell in this bare land by your spell. So now I request you to let me go, because I have already pardoned all the traitors. I have already forgiven all the traitors, and all my enemies I have forgiven. My enemies have, my foes have been forgiven by me, and the traitors, they have been pardoned. So please let me go, and I have got my dukedom also back. So let me go in this bare island. So in this bare island means let me go from this lonely, from this abandoned island, from this lonely island. I want to go away from this lonely place, but by your spell, but release me from my band. So I'm asking you to release me from your magic spell, sorry, and release me from the thy bands. Bands means fetters, from your confinement. Please free me from your captivity. Please free me from your confinement. Fetters means chains. So please free me from the chains which restrict my movement, which force me to stay on this island. So I am asking, I am requesting for my freedom. I want to leave this island and go to my place, go to Milan. Gentle breath of yours, my sail, must fill, or else my projects fail. So I request you that, see, actually, what will Prospero request to the audience, right? Prospero is actually requesting to the audience to give him a big round of applause, a very good applause, right? So this is his request. So in this way only the audience will give permission. When the audience will stand up and clap for him, clap for the play which was performed on stage. So that is what he says: gentle breath of yours, my sails must fill. So your gentle breath, I need your good wishes, which will fill winds into my sail, right? Which will fill winds. Your gentle wishes, your good wishes will fill winds in my sail, and my ship will start moving, or else my projects fail. And if you will not leave me, if you will keep me confined here, then all my plans and all my projects will fail. Which was to please. So all my projects, what was the project of Prospero? What was the project of this play? The project of this play was to entertain the audience. So my plans and projects to entertain you people, right? To please you people, that will be doomed. I was here to provide you people with entertainment, right? So which I have done. And so now I ask your permission that please let me go, or else what will happen? I will fail in my motive of entertaining you. That will be doomed. My projects will come to an end. Which was to please, which was to make you people happy, which was to entertain you people. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to chant, and my ending in despair. So now he says that now I want here means lack. Now I lack. Now I'm deficit in the strength and the magical, and the spirits to enforce means those supernatural spirits, that magical strength which Prospero had. Art to enchant, it again means the magical powers which I possessed earlier. Now I am wanting in that, means I lack them. I don't have them. Prospero has already given up his magical powers. So now I don't have those magical powers which I had earlier, which used to these spirits of this island which were under me and which always obeyed my command. These supernatural spirits of the island which obeyed all my instructions. I don't have them. Now, after giving up my magical powers, if I'm going to call those spirits, they will never come to me. So I can no longer. So I won't be able to perform any wonders with my magic. Now I am like any normal human being. My ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer. So now my last days will be full of sorrow, will be full of sadness, unless your prayers bring forgiveness for me, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and free all faults. So now I request you that please pray for me, right? Please bless me with your prayers, or what will happen, or else my last days will be full of despair, will be full of sorrow, unless your prayers will bring forgiveness for me, forgiveness for my sins, and your prayers will go and pierce the divine mercy. If you people will pray for me, then what will happen? Your prayers have the power to even pierce the divine mercy, means your prayers have the power to reach the divine mercy, and then that mercy will fall upon me. That mercy from the heaven will fall upon me, and this will liberate me. The mercy which falls from heaven and liberates all the human beings of their sins, the mercy of the gods, right? I pray you people that you people, please, by your prayers, right, they should, you people should pray for me so that the mercy of the gods fall upon me, that divine, your prayers are very strong that they can even pierce the divine mercy, and when that mercy will fall upon me, then I will be free, I will be liberated of my sins, I'll be free from all my faults and all my sins. And freeze all faults, freeze all faults means that mercy which liberates human beings of all their sins. So I will also be liberated, I'll also be a person who is free from sins. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free. So as you people are pardoned for your sins, as you people are forgiven for your sins, so I also request you that you all pray for me so that I am also forgiven for my sins. So let your kindness, please bestow your kindness upon me with your prayers, right? So this ends the play Tempest, and